This is
the Handbag Husband.
the Handbag Husband. Yay! Alright, so today we are here in the pool, luxuriating in Bangkok at our really lovely and enjoyable hotel, the Four Seasons. And today we will another sponsor if you can sponsor, I'd take a sponsor. But today we're going to talk about the 0-star reviews for the Hermes boutiques that we visited here in Thailand, in Icon Siam and Siam Paragon. And you know, the thing is, they don't really do the 0-star thing here. They're not like that, so they just do 1 stars. But just keep in mind, these are just our opinions, right? These are the opinions of those folks, and from our experience, you know, we're going to reference these against our experience. So we're not on the side of Hermes, we're not on the side of the people. We're just kind of trying to be as unbiased as possible based against our own experiences, and it's not law, right? I'm not saying that these people's experiences are not these experiences. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm saying that you know, from what they're saying, it doesn't match up with what we've experienced, or maybe it does, right? Sometimes it does, for sure. So just, you know, take that with a grain of salt. And also, if you have an experience that's similar or different, you know, put it down in the comments. I'd love to see what you have all experienced with these boutiques here. Now, before we get to the 0-star reviews, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the Hermes milieu, the Hermes conversation, and all the bag candy. We're gonna have some bag candy for you for sure. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe because it does really help the channel grow, and of course, we are so thankful for that.
Thank you.
But also because it means you get notifications when our long videos come out, when our short videos come out, and all the stuff we got on the socials, on the Instagram, at the Handbag Husband. We got new Hermes content coming out every single week. So let's get down to those 0-star reviews. All right, so let's do our first 0-star, 1-star review from Icon Siam, which of course is the boutique on the other side of that river right there. It's like over there a little bit. This one's short and sweet. It says, rudest assistant I ever met. I asked to show more colors and it was refused. Unbelievably unprofessional your service is.
I feel like it's not in the Thai people nature to be rude.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
feel,
what we
yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about just Hermes store.
Yeah.
I'm talking about anywhere that we've been to. And maybe they don't have the color.
Yeah.
Because the comments say refuse to show in another color.
Yeah.
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 So they might not have another color.
Yeah. I think the bigger issue here is for all these reviews, whether it's in the ones that we've seen in Europe, the ones we've seen in the US, and the ones we've seen in Thailand, there is a through line of the customer feeling like the SAs are rude. So that means that either all the SAs in all the countries have issues with rude SAs, or all the customers have issues perceiving it as being rude, or Hermes is training them to be rude. I just don't think that's the case. It's not been our experience for us. My suspicion is that only the people who felt like they've been rude to are the people leaving the comments, right? So, because again, for us, we've only had one experience that was less than stellar, which was at Harrods in London. Other than that, we've always had an amazing experience, and our SAs always polite. Maybe they're short, like maybe the you know their English is not the same, or our language is not the same as theirs. So they're not always like, they don't have all the social graces that go along with it. But I think that for us, I've never felt like they were rude. Right? And I think that some people mistake being negated, saying no, not having what they want as being rude, when in actuality it's just, look, we don't have what those things you want. Yeah. I don't know, you think, I mean, how do you, the rudeness thing, do you think it's a thing, or?
It's very odd. People say like, oh, MSSAs are rude.
Yeah, or they give like the luxury girl kind of moniker. All right, so next up is another 1-star for Icon Siam, which says the wait is 1 hour, but only 5 minutes to be served, meaning that it only took 5 minutes for his interaction with the SA. They say, quote, all the bags are on display only, no charms, nothing, end quote. If there was really nothing, just close all the shutters, and for all the Hermes boutiques all around the world.
Wait, They say that to all Hermes around the world too.
Yeah, he's
close
like, if
down.
you have nothing to sell, then close your Hermes stores. So I think this one is, I think this is just like a rage tweet, right? This is just him being frustrated that he got after an hour wait and probably pretty warm and probably pretty tired. This is after an hour wait of him coming in and then in 5 minutes, like, no, we don't have a bag.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's the case. And I will say there's two things that I consider when I have this thought, because I have this thought sometimes too. It's like, they have nothing to sell. Why are the windows open? But then think...
We also look at you Rolex and Patek.
Yeah, that's right. But the thing is, Hermes is one of the most successful companies for luxury in the world.
Yeah.
And they don't get that way by not selling something.
Yes.
Also, looking around, especially here in Bangkok, especially in some of those malls, you see tons of people with quota bags, non-quota bags, and things like that. So, do they not have anything to sell? They obviously have things to sell. I think the issue with this gentleman here is more of, assuming gentleman, maybe it's a lady, I guess I don't know, is that when they got that first barrier put up, they accepted it and then left.
Yeah.
They're like, oh no?
Or,
okay, bye.
Or just go in and like, I want a Birkin.
Yeah.
Obviously, you gotta get like 5 minutes treatment.
Yeah.
And like, no, sorry, we don't have anything.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I mean, there needs, in all cases, not all cases, there's situations with it, but you need some warm up, right? You need a little bit of, meeting to it. You got a pregame to it. You can't just come up and be like, hey, I want this bag, because they're already ready to say no. They're anticipate they're going to say no, right?
Yes.
And so I think that maybe he's just frustrated that everything, and he didn't get what he wanted.
Yeah.
But the reality is, maybe if he worked through it, he might have got something. Right. All right. Next up says, I can confirm what is being said here. I asked what bags they have available. After typing 1 minute on the phone, the lady said they have no bags in stock at the moment, and potentially never any in the future. So I like this one. I like this one because it has not only is she saying the way this person perceived this, and I doubt they said I've never had an RSA say we will never have any bags in the future either, right?
For you?
Yeah, maybe not for us. And maybe they won't have any bags for us in the future, but they will have bags in the future. It's guaranteed. That's how Hermes makes their living. So this one, I think this seems like frustration because he's like, I waited an hour of my time, and then it took 1 minute of your time to dismiss me.
Yeah.
Right. So it's that discrepancy in people saying, like, look, I'm investing an hour of my time in this, and Hermes is investing 1 minute of time in me. Right. I can see how there's that frustration, but again, I think this is another one of those.
But it's better to you like why and die you and like just like sorry, thank you.
Yeah. Would you rather them take up another hour of your time? So you're at 2 hours at this point, and then they're like, oh, sorry, we don't actually have any bags.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think about that one?
Still don't understand. I still don't understand the 0 or 1 star review.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously the demand is way higher than supply.
Yeah.
You can't just go in and like. I guess are we comparing to other brand? Maybe they have people who have expectation that you can just go in and get a bag.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying anyone in particular, but there are ones like that.
You mean Lakers?
Oh, the Lakers? Yes, it was the Lakers. Because we saw some of the brands here, and they had SAs standing out front, lining out front, like a used car lot essentially. They're waiting for people to come in and like
Which is
pounce.
very odd.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw it in the US.
No, we've never really seen that like that.
So normally we wait in line to go into the mess. This one, I say wait in line.
So yeah, I think that maybe that is true. Like if you went to a different boutique and you came in and it was transactional, you're like, oh, I'm just going to Hermes because that one's better or whatever. And you show up, and try it out, and they're like, no, you don't understand.
It doesn't work the
yes,
same way.
yes.
So I think it's more of that.
Yeah. You got to join the cult of Hermes first. The cult of Hermes first. So we have meetings on Wednesdays. All right. So next one. This is from a person that was originally in French, and it says,
it's worth to know.
It's just noting, I mean, this is adding just color to the comments here. It's in English here, but it was originally in French and translated via Google. Thanks, Google. I want to see if the rumors are true, and they are. Should I read it dramatically? The employees do not have professional experience. They deserve to work at KFC. It's a shame for the reputation of Hermes. So first of all, I would say one thing. KFC International, they've done pretty good. I've never been disappointed. KFC.
Tastes better than the US.
I mean, Yeah, and they give you the gloves, which is just a class move, right? So don't throw any shade on KFC.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the Colonel would be sad.
Yeah.
Second of all, you know, if it was originally in French, and she has any experience at the boutiques in France, I mean, I don't see how she would see it as any more or less customer service oriented here
I guess I'm going to
in
defend
Bangkok.
her a little bit. Maybe she's not from Paris.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna figure it out over here. You know,
Yeah.
because maybe
Yeah.
it's just in Paris that people
Yeah.
seem to be a little bit colder.
Yeah.
I don't want to assume.
Yeah, okay,
Because
fair
we've
enough.
met some nice French
Oh, we've
people.
met tons of nice French people.
So I don't want to say like,
Even
French-
all of our essays in France were nice,
Correct.
but they had an edge to them.
Sure.
Put that to it.
sure.
Yeah,
So yeah, so maybe
Hmm.
it just
yeah,
big cities. Or you have big city mentalities of like, you know,
yeah. You're just used to people not being nice to you in that way.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think the
used to
long
that
and the
too.
short of the rudeness stuff is that you just gotta let it go, folks. Right? Like they might be rude to you. That might
Don't
be
take
possible.
anything personal.
But they also may not be rude to you, right?
Correct.
And it's not personal. And, you know, I think that a lot of people are not thinking about the experience of the essays. We're thinking of the essays as almost like automatons, right? They don't
Yes.
have emotions. They're just service oriented.
Yeah.
And they're not getting 1,000 jerks a day
Yes.
asking for a Kelly Birkin and Constance and why they can't have a Kelly Birkin and Constance
Yes.
and how come they see Kelly Birkin and Constance but they can't have Constance
Yes.
Kelly and Constance. We don't see that every single day, right?
Yeah.
And so people have good days and bad days, and that's the nature of it. But just
Yeah.
don't take it personal, right?
Exactly.
And again, keep your eyes on the prize, right? Your goal is to try to get whatever object you're looking at from Res.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that they're saying and all the ways they're treating you, none of that matters. If you can sort through that, you can, you know, work your way in. And for us, we've always had some success getting some
Yeah.
things by sort of keeping the blinders on and saying, look, this may have been a slight. Who cares? Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on. All right. So these are the last three ones. Super quick. I just like them because I like them. I don't know what kind of response from it. First one says, worst Hermes store I've ever been to. And that's not even true. Not even close to true. There's no
I
way.
mean, if you've been to one, then yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess we don't know what the background
Yes,
is.
exactly.
Yeah, she's like, I've been to FSH and I've been to Bangkok, and this one's the worst. Fair,
Makes
fair.
sense.
Yes, I would agree with that. Yeah. Next one is terrible service. This one is totally her fault, and it was in time. Just so you know, it was in time. Terrible service. I arrived at 7:30 p.m. The store closed at 8 p.m. and didn't allow me any entry. Very bad, and driving a long distance. Very bad. Kind of on you. Maybe not. Maybe there was traffic and things came up, and you know, a car overturned and it took you an extra hour or two on this reading, and you couldn't get there in time. Those are all
I mean,
circumstances that happen, but
I kind of understand. Say, if you compare to restaurants, they have last call.
yes, yeah,
In this case, you maybe if they take you in and you expect an hour
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
hour visit,
Yeah.
you know, then it's already past the
sure.
closing time.
It's closing time. They're gonna pay these people overtime. They still have to do their duties at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So I
yeah. Like a
understand.
restaurant, right?
Yes,
Like you have all
because
your
we
side.
both worked at the restaurants
yeah,
before,
yeah.
so we understand last
Yeah.
call. We don't want like,
Yeah.
oh, but the sign said
Yeah.
it's like 1 minute
Yeah,
close.
or
I'm
how
like, dude,
pain in the ass it is when
like,
someone
the
shows up the last
deep
minute.
fryer
you're like,
already
"Oh,
closed 30
dude."
minutes ago.
The cooks are like, get out of here, man.
Exactly. So-
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this last one, the last one for Icon Siam. This one was originally in Korean, and it says, "Go to another Hermes. I've been dusting all day long. Korean people are out of breath." I just like the translation. Google obviously didn't get it right.
Are we not quite sure?
I think what they're saying is, "Oh, we've been shopping all day, and we were
tired."
exasperated by the end of the day."
Yeah.
But I kind of like the way it says.
quote
Yeah.
it, like when we plan our day, MS our first thing.
Yes.
Because it's
It takes so much energy. It takes so much
always,
energy.
Always,
Yeah.
always. If you look at MS, if you already have planned out, first thing in the morning.
Yeah,
Or the first
absolutely.
thing, doesn't have to be in the morning, but the first thing of your itinerary
Yeah.
of that day. Yeah.
All right, so that's Icon Siam. That's the first boutique that we visited. Let's move on to Siam Paragon, which is a more established boutique and has kind of a different complaints, really. It's kind of different sort of complaints. So we'll get to that one here in a second. All right, let's talk about the second boutique that we visited here in Bangkok, actually on this side of the river, which is at Siam Paragon, which is a much older and more established mall, and really a much older and more established boutique. So I think some of the complaints here are a little bit more justified in some ways and also a little bit different as well. So first one up. Says the wait time is ridiculous, over 1 hour.
I feel like it's a weekend. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
They allow only Thailand's customers to pass the line, and the excuse is, quote unquote, they are regular customers.
Yeah, no shit.
So, I mean, I think this
No
one's
surprise.
justified. We actually did have a much longer wait because we've been doing like how long is the wait kind of videos, and we'll put those up as well. The wait here was longer. It was probably about 30 minutes maybe. And we actually, long enough that we had some people in front of us abandon it.
Yeah.
Right? They had waited, they were at the front of the line and they abandoned it. So, I mean, that's kind of
That's something.
right? So I can definitely see the wait line on there. And then also, the thing is, look, people were going to come in. We saw people coming in. And if you wouldn't go to a restaurant and be like, oh, those people, I came before those people, how come they came in, and not realize, oh, they have a reservation,
Yeah.
right? I think a lot of the locals obviously have the local contact information and are making appointments, right? Like, you can't,
Because the SA
Yeah.
that we talked to, here's my schedule.
Yeah.
She texted me her
Yeah.
schedule and it's like,
Yeah.
if you want to come back in, let's make an appointment.
also proof you don't have to be a local to get that information,
Exactly.
right? Just got to be an Hermes kind of cool person, and they'll,
Or be the handbag husband.
be the handbag husband, yay! And they'll help you out. So I think that's not warranted. The wait time was a problem, and it was interesting because they're like, oh, we only have 3 SAs on staff, but when we looked inside, they had way more SAs. When we got inside,
it was SA plus runners.
oh yeah, maybe. Again, I think this complaint is one that we see a lot, especially in Italy. We saw in the US, we never really had that problem, although we've seen some people waiting, but we always just make
How was the
appointments.
level? I know you visited before and you
It
were
was
waiting in
yeah,
line.
it was about
that
45
was
minutes,
yeah.
So it's there. So I think this is more of like a policy issue, right? I think that Hermes is making a decision to say, hey, look, whatever.
We want to
the-
create a pleasant shopping environment.
That's right. They don't want to rush the people who are inside.
Yes.
So whoever's coming from the outside, you kind of got to wait, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so the next one says, after waiting for a long time, the sales assistant asked if I had a profile, and I said that I have shopped at other branches. She asked me to leave and go to the branches I've shopped at previously.
Is she Thai?
I don't believe so, no. I don't think so. Judging by the name, it doesn't seem very Thai.
Okay.
But it could be anyway.
I don't know.
What do you think about this one?
My point is like, I guess the word that we sometimes get is like, oh, we will recommend you shop at your own local store.
Yeah.
Yes, right?
Yes.
But we never like, please leave. We never ever got to that.
Yeah, I feel like this is like those bad TV dramas when they reenact something and the guy's like, "Yeah," but in reality it was like, no, it's like, it doesn't work, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like this is their feeling like, oh, she was like, she had fangs, and it's like, she like punched me in the face and then told me to leave. When in reality, we've never had anyone say, you have to get asked to leave from a boutique, like you really gotta be
Like punching someone?
Yeah, you gotta be very raucous. You gotta be very
Like
raucous.
shouting, maybe.
Or maybe not following store policies in some ways or something like
Sure.
that. Yeah, but like unless you're like being aggressive with them or you're.
I cannot see that kind of situation happen.
So I think it was more of her saying, and maybe it could be a language barrier thing, saying like, look, we recommend you go back to your home boutique, which is super common. We got that in Las Vegas, we've got that in Italy, we've got that in Paris, we've got that in London.
Very common.
We've got
Very
that
common.
literally everywhere. So I don't know if they sent an all company memo out to it. But we've gotten that everywhere. So that is a common thing, but they've never been like, okay, now you need to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that would be, if that is true, that would be something that I think would be
Very disappointing.
Very disappointing.
Yeah.
Very disappointing. But
Yeah.
I'm skeptical. All right. So next up is one that I kind of like. I just it's a reenactment. It says, me, quote, can I take a picture of this perfume box to show my sis and see if it's something that she wants, end quote. The staff, pictures are not allowed. Me. Okay. All right, so next one. After finding nothing at the Hermes Central Embassy, so that's the one boutique that we actually didn't get to visit.
Central Embassy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Central Embassy. We had to queue more at Paragon. Yeah, there's a queue there, that's bad. As they are unable to tell you what is in stock in the 3 countrywide stores.
Makes
You wait-
sense.
you wait for an awful length of time to get a very unprofessional staff who hardly knows what she is selling. So why wait for the staff to enter the shop? Quite a disgrace. So this is one that we've seen before too. Like people getting upset because they can't
Check the stock.
they can't research. They're not given the tool, the insider knowledge to do the research that they
Otherwise,
want.
it takes all day, every day. Like
Yeah.
people are gonna come in and ask, you
Yeah.
have this, you have that, you have this,
Yeah.
and that. Can you check another?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense business-wise.
Yeah, ultimately, if you think about it from the Hermes size, like it does way more harm than good
For sure.
to basically have a system where people can check everything
Yes.
all over the place.
Yes.
And keep in mind, us included, people are playing the game, and some people are trying to game the system, right?
Yes.
They're trying to play not fair, and so they want to maybe buy all the bags they can get at once, and then do something else with them for their own profit or their own gain or whatever, right? So Hermes is not only dealing with that side; they're also dealing with normal clients who love and appreciate Hermes, but they don't have a great way of distinguishing between the two.
For
And
sure.
so, giving people that advantage would be very detrimental to Hermes
For
as
sure.
a brand. It
Yeah.
could cause so many problems as far
Yes.
as people calling in every day, being like, "Do you have a bag today? Do you have a bag today? Do you have a bag today?" It's going to take up time from the SA to actually handle the stuff that people want to have in
Yeah.
real life, in real
Yeah.
person, who are looking for other things like
A
Chivalry.
genuine, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Genuine like customers, yeah. Yeah.
The other thing is that it's not always true. In London, if you make a good rapport with them and you kind of again have that rapport with them, they can sometimes check stuff in other stores.
Yes.
That's why we got sent to Hermes in Harrods for the Maximum. She said, "Hey, look, we saw one there online
Yeah,
earlier
mine.
in the year, earlier in the day. So we can't guarantee it's going to be there." And that's probably another side of it. Like
Yes.
people say, "They told me it was here, and it's not here, and now I'm mad." But and I get it. But so we went there, and it didn't work out or whatever. So they can actually check it. But sometimes you need to find the right person and develop the right relationship, even if it's a short-term relationship with them. So, all right, next one. Worst way to welcome clients. Another luxury sales girl that thinks that luxury is about being cold and friendly and impolite. No greetings when we arrived or left. Just the quote, "What are you doing here?" look, because foreigners don't buy. Never judge a client by the cover. Luxury is not about the product, but everything that goes in with it, including the experience at the shop.
No coffee.
Yes, so there was no coffee, and I mean, I don't know. You're never gonna get 4 stars on my book at Hermes. Well, you could. Yeah, you could. You could get 4 stars. Let's be honest, you could. But no coffee is a big ding for me. So I don't know. What do you think about this one?
I think it's true. I don't know. I don't want to say that she's a liar, but like
They're
they're always greeter. They're always
yeah,
greeter.
yeah. They don't let you in the store sometimes. At least specifically here.
Greet you.
Well, I guess specifically for this one, they did not let us in the store without an SA being there, right? So you couldn't have wandered in and not been greeted. I mean, I guess it's technically possible. I think the larger one, the point here is, I feel like he was ready to be angry at the luxury girl, right? Any sign of her being effete, perhaps, or being maybe not as warm as he expected. And this person was they had a picture, so I would be very surprised if he was not American. But I think that he had the American expectation of luxury and interaction that you're just not, I mean, it just doesn't work out that way everywhere in the world, But this luxury girl trope, I've seen it, right? We've seen people who are kind of fit that mold. But again, if you can get a conversation going with them, oftentimes that facade falls off super quickly, right? Because it'd be really hard to maintain. Like, you'd have to be a real, true jerk to maintain it if someone's being friendly and having like a nice conversation with you, right? Like if you're like, oh, how, conversation, they're like, no, right? You'd have to be maybe it would be like ingrained personality trait, basically.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. All right. So for the next one for Siam Paragon, says horrible customer service. Not a single greeting of any of the sales assistants when we arrived or left. When we entered the store, they looked at us like, quote unquote, they're not going to buy anyways, and kept on chatting with themselves. So, I mean, I guess the way that we've experienced these ones, it's probably not so much a they're not going to buy look. It's more of a they're not going to buy anything that we actually have to sell them look.
Or they want the handbag that we can't offer them.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's what I'm saying. Because even when we went there and we're like, look, here is here's our budget, right? And it is a very healthy budget, and it's something that would be worth moving the needle a little bit.
Not a little bit.
A lot of it, yeah. She just looked at me. She's like, "What are you gonna buy here with that?" Like, what do you mean? What am I gonna buy here? You tell me what I'm gonna buy here, right? So I think that they realize that there is a very limited in-store supply of things that people are gonna buy, and regardless of the budget, without a relationship,
Without getting like bust down.
yeah, the bust down Kelly belt, right?
No,
With
no,
the
I'm talking about, like, the
like a Medor, yeah.
whatever, like jewelry.
Yeah. The watches, right? Just like, we have some watches, and Cape Cod. But yeah, so I don't know what you think. You think that's the real deal? They can't. They're in a sales job. Let's get down to it. They're in a sales job. No one does great at a sales job if they think, oh, this person, I can't sell this person anything.
So basically, this person didn't have any interaction with any asset. Am I correct?
Oh, I guess not. Right? So there you have it, right? I think that there's kind of a general through line of people feeling that they are treated rudely and they have to wait and there are no bags. And, I can see how some of those are true and how some of those may be more of a perception issue. But I'd like to hear what you all think, right? Is this an experience that you've had if you've been to these boutiques or really any of the boutiques around the world? Do you feel in a similar fashion or you've been treated similarly as some of these folks? And how does that line up with your experience as well? I'd love to really hear about that. Now, if you like this video, of course, if you like the bag candy, we're going to have much more bag candy for you. But if you like the Hermes conversation, the Hermes milieu, please don't forget to like and subscribe because it does really help the channel grow. And of course, we are so thankful for that.
Thank you.
But also because it means you'll get notifications when our long videos come out, when our short videos come out, and all the stuff we got going on Instagram every single week at the Handbag Husband. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and to follow to get those notifications. So from sunny, beautiful Bangkok, thank you and goodbye.